Hey, my name is Annabelle Cooper, and the new student dialogue I attended was Invisible Inequalities, Is It Only Skin Deep? And I'm gonna read the little paragraph under that because it explains exactly what we did in there. So it says we often categorize people before we even meet them based on the color of their skin. This dialogue focuses on seeing racial or ethnic privilege and understanding how it manifests itself into different identities. Students will be asked to explore the role race and ethnicity have in their own lives and on the Clemson campus. So basically, I'm just going to read the questions that were listed on Blackboard for us to answer. So the first one is, do you feel your group achieved true dialogue? Why or why not? I would say yes, our group did achieve true dialogue. It was a good discussion. I think some people were talking over people and talking over more than others, but that doesn't really matter, I guess. It was a good discussion. Everyone threw in what they had to say, and no one was really judging anyone. I mean, it got a little heated sometimes, but overall, I think it was good. Share your observations of the dynamics of your group. Where were there voices? And were there active voices in your dialogue? Yeah, there was definitely some people that were, they were very prominent in just talking, and that's okay. And some people weren't, because the next question is, were there more reserved voices? Yes, a lot of people just weren't talking, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think if we have known each other better, if it was a more comfortable environment, not that it wasn't comfortable, but you can't just get 30 people together and think everyone's going to share their life story. They're not. Some people it takes time for people to get comfortable in front of others. So I think that's why we had more reserved voices. And so, what role did you play in your group? Well, I didn't really talk much, at all. I didn't really talk, so there's nothing wrong with that. I was honestly just listening to everyone else. They had some pretty good stories and stuff, so. It says, why do you think dialogue is a component in CU1000, and do you see dialogue as a useful tool in your university experience? Yes, it's good. It's dialogue, it's how we communicate, so we obviously need it in everyday life. And, not only do we need to, be able to talk to people, but we need to be able to respect people when we're talking to them, because respecting people while you're communicating with them is pretty much part of the communicating. So, if you're communicating poorly, and you're saying offensive things, and you're giving people bad, rolling your eyes, or sucking your teeth, or like we were saying in the class, looking at your phone, that's disrespectful, and it shows that you're not interested. You have to be all in. So if your dialogue takes being totally there and totally present and respecting people and knowing what's offensive and what's not. And then it just says, please share any additional thoughts. So I guess my additional thoughts will be that I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was good for there were a lot of freshmen in there, and there's only maybe one or two transfer students, and I'm a transfer student. But it's just a difference because we've been in college 2 years already, and it's their first year, so I think it was good for them to see, realize that there's other people in the world, because where they're coming from, they're just surrounded by people they know, and it was a pretty diverse group of people. There were a few Catholic people in there. There's some just Baptist, Southern Baptist people. I think a few Jewish people. And I thought that diversity was good. That people were able to see that other people are not just like me from where I'm from, and so that's good for them to learn that early on, I suppose. That, and I think what else did we talk about? We talked about we talked a lot about people asking for help, so, and with disabilities too. So you just don't go up and grab someone and just assume that they can't do it on their own, that they can't help themselves. So, I mean, we were saying that ask, like say, hey, do you need help with that? And they'll say yes or no, and move on with your day. I think, what else did we talk about? We talked about, what else did we talk about? Oh, we talked about a girl called someone a slut, and how you can't say like that's offensive. Like if someone wants to sleep with someone, that's fine. Like they shouldn't be condemned for that. And yeah, she was just calling a friend a slut. And I don't think really that got into it. Oh, then that got into people were talking about how when cussing and stuff and around Christians, how Christians judge people, and how not all of them do, but how like a lot of them, like a lot of people, you talk to them and then like you say something, they'll just make a face, or you can if they're uncomfortable talking about it, and say just don't talk to some stuff with them, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that got pretty heated actually. I think we just kind of stopped talking about that. But I mean, overall, there were a lot of good discussions. I don't remember all of them, but I mean, they're all really interesting, and I was listening to all of them. And I'd definitely go to another new student dialogue. It was very informative, and it was just really good.